So Hip Hop Uncovered was an idea that came from Jim Bob Chris. He's a Pyru from Campanella. And he was very good friends with my partner, Malcolm Spellman, who's a screenwriter and showrunner on the scripted side of television. And those two got together and sort of developed the idea for Hip Hop Uncovered. It was originally called Hip Hop Untold. And we, during the process, changed the name. And those two brought in, it was Jim, Malcolm, Doug Banker, and myself that got brought in, right, to make a sizzle. And around that time, because Jim had a relationship with Big U, he spoke to Big U, they chopped it up, and Big U, rolling 60s Clipse. So now you got in LA, you got a Blood and a Crip executive producing a series about hip hop, and that's pretty unprecedented.
I'm Robert Benavides, and I'm a director of photography. And I was lucky that when I was young enough, like almost like in junior high or like junior year of high school, I got into photography, and then I fell in love with film. And I realized I want to be a cinematographer. And it's interesting because I'm a big boxing fan, and Raging Bull, Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull was a big influence. I grew up in Chicago. I went to Columbia College Film School, and then eventually moved out to LA, where I met Rashidi. Rashidi's actually one of the first people I ever met and worked with. So this is kind of interesting. It's kind of a beautiful thing that we still, roll together, and we were able to create this together. And I just want to keep making films, documentaries, TV series, scripted. I love it.
Man, I started as a filmmaker. I used to intern at a record label. It was Warner Brother Records. I was interning there for the summer, and I met this guy out front, and we just started having a conversation. I asked him what he did, and he said, this guy's name is Joe Brown. And he said, I assist and direct music videos. And I was like, oh, I love music videos. I really want to get into that, right? Because I always knew I wanted to be a director, inspired by Spike Lee, early Spike Lee movies and all that. But I didn't really know how to get in. And when I met Joe, he said, yeah, man, I'll give me your number. I'll give you a call. You can come down and check a set out and see what you think. So he calls me up and he invites me down, and it's Bobby Brown's My Prerogative. And it's like this big concert set up at like Charlie Chaplin stages over on La Brea in Hollywood, like legendary place. It's all kind of young folks up in there. And I walked in and I was like, oh man, this is it. One take seeing Bobby on stage, I was like, yeah, I'm in. This is the business I want to be in. And what's funny about that story is that it's sort of a full circle moment in that Bobby winds up being in this docuseries. You know what I mean? Because again, this series is about people from the streets. And if anybody knows anything about Bobby Brown and New Edition, they're from Roxbury and Boston, and they are for sure from the streets. So it's a cool full circle moment. I actually can't wait till Bobby sees the little story that Bimmy tells about him. Anyway, so that was the inspiration. That's how I originally got the opportunity. And from there, man, I just started being a production assistant on music videos, worked my way up to direct. Before I started assistant directing first. My first client was Hype Williams. So there's this legendary New York director named Lionel Martin, who was super hot at that time and super, if you look him up, you'll know Lionel Martin did a lot for the culture and music videos, and he sort of linked myself and Hype Williams up. And then we became fast friends, and Hype is the first person that actually brought me to New York to do a music video. Like it was for like PM Dawn or some like low budget PM Dawn video in Brooklyn. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you the story right now, but like, I definitely met Biggie Smalls on that trip just randomly on the street. Like, that's how crazy New York was back then.